There's a book that got a man exiled, hated by the church, and labeled evil for centuries. For over 200 years, the church tried to keep that book out of regular people's hands, because if you understood what was inside it, you'd be harder to control. And this made the people in charge very uncomfortable. The man who wrote it died knowing his words would either liberate men or get buried forever. They tried to bury it, but they failed. And what I'm about to reveal is the real reason why they were so terrified of you reading it. When you look around your life right now, your job, your relationships, your bank account, your position in the world, there's a cold truth sitting behind all of it. Every powerful person you admire, every man who somehow always gets the bag, the respect, the options, every boss who moves like the rules don't apply to him, they all know something you were never taught. It's not a secret code. It's not being born into riches. It's not the universe randomly picking you. It's that they see life as a game of power, not a fairy tale about fairness. And once you see that, you can't unsee it, and everything changes. His name was Niccolo Machiavelli, a man who sat in the actual rooms where decisions were made, where lives and empires were traded like poker chips. He watched weak men lose everything. He watched strong men take whatever they wanted. And instead of dying with that knowledge locked in his head, he did something dangerous. He wrote it all down. Not in motivational language, not in just be nice and things will work out. He wrote in brutal, clear, uncomfortable truth. That book was called The Prince. And here's what most people don't understand. It wasn't written to praise kings, it was a mirror held up to reality. When people looked in that mirror, they didn't see the world they were told existed. They saw the world as it actually is. And it scared the shit out of them. The Catholic Church banned it. Owning it could ruin your reputation. Even today, calling somebody Machiavellian is an insult. Why? Because this kind of knowledge threatens every system that keeps you compliant, obedient, confused, easy to control. Listen to me very carefully, especially if you're a young man or a young dad watching this. You were not raised to understand power. You were raised to be useful to everybody else's power. You've been living in a simulation, not a digital one, a psychological one. From the time you were a kid, you were fed this script: work hard and you'll be rewarded. Be nice and people will respect you. Follow the rules and success will come. It's a beautiful story. It's also not how the real game works. The real world runs on different rules, the same rules Machiavelli wrote down 500 years ago, and human nature hasn't changed. So let me show you the game the way I see it now. Truth number one: the world is not fair. It was never designed to be. You were taught that fairness is the default setting. If it's not fair, something's wrong and someone will fix it. That belief keeps you waiting, hoping, complaining. You wait for recognition. You wait for your turn. You wait for someone to notice how hard you work. Meanwhile, someone else is taking that promotion, that woman, that opportunity, while you're still waiting for your turn. Machiavelli saw something different. Fortune favors the bold, not the patient. The men who won weren't the ones quietly waiting in line. They were the ones who said, "If I see an opening, I move. I don't ask for permission." Power is not distributed. It's taken by the people who understand how power works. So if you're sitting there telling yourself, "I'm a good guy, I work hard, it'll pay off one day," you're playing a game that doesn't exist. Stop waiting for justice. Start accepting that, like it or not, you're in competition, whether you acknowledge it or not. And if you're a young dad or a baby daddy watching this, understand this part especially. Your kid is growing up in this exact same world. If you don't understand the game, you can't teach them how to move in it. Truth number two: being liked is not the same as being respected. Most of us were trained to be likable, agreeable, non-threatening, always understanding, people-pleasing. Society sells this idea: if everyone likes you, you'll win. Machiavelli watched nice princes lose their kingdoms. He watched two kind rulers get eaten alive by ruthless rivals. He asked, "Is it better to be loved or feared?" He answered, "Both, if possible. But if you have to choose, choose fear. Because fear is reliable. Love is unstable." Now don't misunderstand this. This isn't about being a bully or a tyrant. This is about boundaries. Respect isn't when everyone likes you. Respect is when people know there are lines they do not cross with you. Think of the men you truly respect in your life. Not the fun guy. Not the guy everybody jokes with. The ones you actually don't want to disappoint. The ones you don't play with. There's something about them that says, "I know my value. You will treat me accordingly." That's not an accident. That's cultivated. People will take from you whatever you allow. They will disrespect whatever you tolerate. Your kindness without boundaries makes you a nice guy. But kindness without boundaries is a straight-up weakness. The game doesn't reward niceness. The game rewards respect, and if you're a young dad, this is massive. Your kid is going to watch how people treat you. If the world walks all over you, you're training your child to be walked on too. Truth number 3. What you see is almost never the full story. Machiavelli obsessed over the gap between appearance and reality. Most people live and die reacting to what's on the surface, never seeing what goes on underneath. In your workplace, there's a list of who reports to who, and then there's the list of who everyone really answers to. Who actually has influence? Who can pick up the phone and get something done? Who does the boss really listen to? Most people only see titles, so they sit there confused. How did that guy get promoted? I'm better than him. Because you're playing on paper, he's playing in reality. In social groups, there are the stated rules. We're all equal, we're all friends. And then there's what actually happens. Who people listen to, who leads where everyone goes, who gets away with what. In relationships, there's what people say they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. The gap between stated values and real behavior is huge. Machiavelli's advice? Watch what people do, not what they say. Watch where money, attention, and opportunity actually flow. Watch who gains power, not who deserves it based on your morals. The awakened man reads the room. He sees patterns. He notices hidden alliances. He understands motives. That's not being cynical. That's being clear. And clarity is power. Truth number 4, your comfort is being used to keep you weak. This is the one that hits hardest in modern life. Back in Machiavelli's time, rulers controlled people through fear and violence. Today, control looks different. We're controlled through comfort, endless entertainment, constant distraction, food, porn, scrolling, low-effort dopamine 24/7. Just enough comfort to keep you from revolting, but not enough empowerment to make you dangerous. You're encouraged to treat yourself, take it easy, don't stress, chill, you only live once. Meanwhile, someone else is saying, I'll grind now so I never have to ask later. Machiavelli saw it. The soft prince loses his kingdom to the hungry rival. Comfort breeds weakness. The game demands something the modern world tells you to avoid. Voluntary hardship discipline, delayed gratification struggle. Every powerful man in history embraced difficulty. They didn't run from it. They let it forge them. They didn't avoid discomfort. They weaponized it. And trust me, your competition is hoping you stay comfortable. They hope you keep hitting snooze. They hope you keep scrolling. They hope you say, I'll start tomorrow. Because while you're numbing yourself, they're positioning themselves. If you're a dad, this is life or death for your legacy. Your child doesn't need a tired, drained, addicted version of you. They need a father who can carry weight. Now, once you see all this, what happens? You don't suddenly become cold or evil. You don't have to become some villain. You become strategic. You become intentional. You become effective. You stop whining about unfairness and you start positioning yourself. You stop hoping for respect and start building a presence that demands it. You stop reacting emotionally to everything and start responding to what actually moves the needle. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating conditions that favor you. You go from being a piece on the board to become the one who moves the pieces. Let me keep this real. In your career, the naive man thinks promotions are purely merit-based. So he works hard, keeps his head down, and waits. The awakened man still works hard, harder even, but he understands. Visibility matters, relationships matter, perception matters. He makes sure the right people see his value. He builds alliances with decision makers. He frames his wins as solutions to his boss's problems. Same hours, same work ethic, different strategy, different outcome. In social dynamics, the naive man enters every room trying to be liked. He laughs at everything. He agrees with everyone. He avoids all conflict, then wonders why no one takes him seriously. The awakened man enters with self-respect. He's cool, calm, polite, but not afraid of disagreement. He's flexible when it serves him, firm when it matters. People can feel his boundaries without him having to scream them. And guess what they mirror back? Respect. In relationships, the naive man thinks unconditional availability equals love. So he's always accessible, always accommodating, always on standby. Then he wonders why attraction dies and he's taken for granted. The awakened man stays on his purpose. He's present when he's there. But he doesn't abandon his mission, his standards, or his autonomy. That tension, presence plus independence, creates respect. Respect sustains attraction. This isn't manipulation. It's understanding how humans actually work instead of how we wish they worked. Now here's the dangerous part. This knowledge is a weapon, but a weapon is neutral. It depends on the hands it's in. Once you see the game, you face a choice. Become formidable or become toxic. Use power to build or use it to exploit. Lead people or drain them. Machiavelli wasn't writing a Bible, he was documenting what works in brutal political reality. Your job isn't to copy his ruthlessness. Your job is to combine strategic clarity with purpose, to become strong on purpose, for yourself, for your future, for the people you choose to protect. The weak man can afford to be good because he doesn't have the power to do much harm. The powerful man has to choose to be good even though he could do damage. That's the real test. So what do you actually do with all this? Let me break it down. Step 1. Accept the game. Stop fantasizing that the world is purely merit-based. Stop crying about how things should be. You were playing a game you didn't know existed. Now you see it. The men who win are not the ones who complain about the rules. They're the ones who master them. Step 2. Start observing power. From now on, you're a student of power dynamics. At work, in your family, with friends, in your city. Watch. Who actually influences outcomes? Who do people defer to? Who gets grace when they mess up? Notice where money, attention, and opportunity actually go. Notice the gap between what people say and what they do. You're training your eye. Step 3. Think strategically, not emotionally. Before you react to anything, an insult, a setback, an opportunity, a text, pause. Ask yourself, what's really happening here? What's the long-term play? How does this move help or hurt my position? You're done playing checkers. You're playing chess now. Step 4. Build your virtu. Machiavelli used this word virtu, not virtue like being morally nice. Virtu means capability, skill, strength, adaptability, the ability to bend circumstances in your favor. So train your body, sharpen your mind, learn skills that print money, learn how to talk, negotiate, sell, lead. Become the kind of man people need on their side. Step 5. Set real boundaries. Start small. Say no to something that drains you. Walk away from disrespect the first time you see it. Stop staying in rooms where you are tolerated instead of valued. Watch how the world rearranges itself when you stop begging to be liked and start demanding to be respected. Step 6. Anchor all of this to purpose. Without purpose, power turns into games, drama, and chaos. Power plus no mission equals toxicity. Power plus mission equals legacy. Ask yourself, what kingdom am I actually building? What kind of life am I constructing for myself and my bloodline? What story will my child one day tell about who I was? If you're a young dad or a baby daddy like a lot of us, this isn't optional anymore. You don't just owe it to yourself to understand power. You owe it to your kids, because the world isn't slowing down, the game isn't getting gentler. Either you become a man who can navigate this, or you stay a man who keeps getting played by it. They tried to ban this kind of knowledge because they knew what it would do. It wakes people up. It exposes the childlike story you were fed. It shows you that power follows principles, and those principles can be learned. They wanted you docile, predictable, easily controlled. But you're here. You're listening, which means something in you refused to stay asleep. So now the question is simple. What are you going to do with this? Stay reactive or become strategic? Keep giving power away or start building it? Keep pretending the game doesn't exist or learn to play it masterfully? Machiavelli gave you the map 500 years ago. The territory hasn't changed. Now it's on you. This is Rich Baby Daddy, Poor Baby Daddy, and welcome to the game. Now go play it like a man who finally understands the rules.